Okay, I'm going to walk you through an old wood I use. Kind of like this wood. I think I always come back here and visit it from time to time, even if I move far away. I've just spent an hour shocking a lady, which for once, she asked me about my camera, and she asked about the bracket and the shoulder stabilizer, asked me, what I was doing, showed an interest. Before long, she got to know everything I did and everything I knew, including the corruption. And she allowed me to explain each thing. She even got to hear about my father and the BBC. And she said, as she left, "My God, you really are a saint. Good luck. I'll be rooting for you if I ever see you in the media." She knew there was things wrong in the country. She knew there were things wrong everywhere. Even the refurbished equipment. She believed every word because she'd heard people have trouble with stuff they'd bought, including HP laptops like I had trouble with from PC World. And she was fascinated with what I'd done. She admitted that she wasn't a computer person, she didn't do YouTube and all the rest of it, so probably hasn't got a smartphone. But she did actually say that she wished that she did after meeting me and hearing about the blogs and hearing about my YouTube channel and hearing about what I got recorded, the lies, the falsifications of ultrasound test results, all the rest of it. I think she finally knew. She had a look of realisation. Her name was Wynne. I just sort of bumped into her while I was waiting for some orange tip butterfly to come back that was patrolling an area, but it didn't return. She was on a bike as well. She was absolutely fascinated and said she said the difficulty you've got is people not necessarily believe in you, but a lot of people will just hear really bad things and think, oh well, it's not happening to me, out of sight, out of mind sort of thing, but they need to sort of, she thinks that there'll be enough people out there that eventually realise everything I've done and do, and thinks that I'm going to end up being a little bit famous. People tend to think that, and I said, she laughed when I said, well, if you see me on TV at all, I said, promise don't throw bombs at the screen. And she laughed and she said, no, I'll be cheering you on. I'm going to call this the Old Wood Monologue, I think, when this gets uploaded. It's an interesting little walk in a very old wood. Will become key to me eventually, this wood and its name, in time, when I've done everything I want to do. It will play an important part. It will be something that will be right there in people's faces and they just didn't see it, kind of thing, kind of key. I told her about my dad in the BBC and how he died within a year. She was absolutely shocked. She seemed to remember something about it. But when I told her what really happened and that there was no comebacks or anything, she knew. You just know. If anything had happened to my father, he'd been fined or imprisoned, it would be difficult. People would still think, well, he was imprisoned, even if he was imprisoned wrongly. He wasn't. None of us was. Just one big setup for ratings. It cost my dad his life. And then I explained that my dad died with something wrong with him we didn't know, that it's now wrong with me, and that's how the conversation crept over to the NHS, the 5 GPs being caught out and then being kicked off, and she eyes and mouth open wide when I'm explaining things, and then laughing at other things that I explained happened. You know, like when he thought he was in the clear, and argued with me for an hour, and then found out that I did have a recording device on me, and the ones he saw me turn off was not the one that I used. And I carried on recording our row and put it on the blog. Interestingly, I think if we'd spoken a bit longer, I would have explained something I told the 2 friends the other day. Out of 24 solicitors, I've actually had one say they can't take this on because the recordings I've got are illegal and can't be used in court. I've replied to them and said, well, actually I'm a bit surprised on this one because you're wrong. Right, they can be used in court. You know, they're employees basically of the state, they're paid for by public tax money. I can bloody record. Not only can I record whoever I want if I suspect foul play, but added to that, very recently a woman took her doctor to court who actually told her to go and kill herself when she wanted pills to deal with a rape case she was attending. I don't know whether she was the victim of the rape or whether she was a forced witness to the rape. Don't know the details, but she wanted some pills to help her deal with what was going on, and this guy with a foreign sounding name, Dr. Raji or something like that, I can't remember his exact name, you know, told her, go and kill yourself. There's plenty of websites that explain how to do it. And she recorded him, and it was used in court, and he was kicked off. So the solicitor that said I can't use my recordings is either a complete idiot, right? And when I say idiot, I mean idiot in the area that they're working in which case, why are they charging £200 a bloody hour? Right, so they're either idiots, and I've been stating for years that the legal system needs to be fucking sorted out. Sorry I swore there, gotta get angry when I think about it. They earn tons of money when they don't know jack shit. Just because you're a solicitor doesn't give you the right to command large amounts of money. But it doesn't mean you're smart, like doctors. You know, they automatically think they're the smartest person in the room. Oh, sorry, I've had to disprove that many a times. At least my last one wasn't stupid enough to even attempt that. He was well aware that there was somebody in the room that was as smart, if not smarter than he was, considering my knowledge of different sciences. Something else I explained to Win. I enjoyed telling somebody that. It's the first time I've actually enjoyed explaining things. Yeah, it was good, that. I won't forget that. In fact, I'm liable to be spotted in towns. I think she's local, she said. So she's liable to spot me. Even my silver Bourbon bike, camera welding, or the kind of halo I have around my head. I must do something about that halo. I've been planning to do something about the halo on my head for some time. And sometimes I have 3 halos on my head. Oh, I'll get to that. That's just a little teaser for a future reference. Yeah, I enjoyed that. She was absolutely shocked. It's the first time I didn't get the look that, you know, you're crazy. Although when I do get the look I'm crazy, I can see the look and I go, look, I've got all the recordings online, you can listen to them all. But as this woman said, she said, you know, some people just don't want to believe. You know, some people don't want to bother. She said, no, she said, who the hell would do what you've done? Who the hell would know to go through all the protocols, all the procedures and all the systems and organisations that you have to chase this up? Who would do all that? And I said, well, that's why they do it. I said, and that's how it's set up like that. It's set up so that people get fed up at any point and end up thinking, nothing's going to come of this, I'm going to walk away. And I said, that's exactly why I carried on. Because I knew that's what they wanted. I knew they wanted me to fail. And for that reason and that reason alone, I decided I wasn't going to lose. So here we are. You know, as I explained to that lady, I'm 2 years down the line with the Parliamentary Health Services Ombudsman, and suddenly they don't know who I am after 2 years. Oh, that's convenient, because the statute of limitation is only 3 years. You know, so you've sodded me about for 2 years. Oh, that's handy. By the time you start again from scratch, we'll go over the statute of limitations, and then you can tell me to fuck off. Oh, how convenient. Unfortunately, your foe is a lot more dangerous than you perceive him to be. Anyway, it was good. I liked that. I quite enjoyed explaining what happened to somebody, and now somebody knows. And she heard the name of the title of the blog. You know, she's bound to tell all her friends about it now. She might get home and phone up half a dozen people over the next couple of hours and say, you'll never guess. If you've got a computer, have a look up the saint called All Nights. Type in corruption. Type in NHS as well. Type in police in your Google search. It doesn't matter. Right, I will come up. In fact, family members tell me that my blog comes up everywhere now. But it's not actually me that makes it work. It's you. When you're on the blog, you've got to see that it's the truth, realise what's going on, and then tell your friends, tell your family, tell your loved ones, tell those you think should be warned before something happens to them. That's how it works. But that only works if there's enough caring people in the world, or even just in the UK. The odd part about it is, although the blog's grown to big numbers, over 100,000 recently, the very first blog, and there are 14 blogs in all, it's not grown. I mean, it's good, I'm finally getting to the big numbers. It didn't grow as fast as I thought it would when I first started out. I thought after a year or two it would be mental. I thought I'd be in the millions, but after 3 years I've just reached the 100,000s. There we go, the end of that little walk in Old Wood. It goes a bit further, so let's carry on. People might be like watching videos of old woods while somebody babbles on about corruption. Oops, what's that? Oh, I know what that is. Stop doing that, you. My bag is hitting the... Oh, if I put it there, it won't touch it. My bag's hitting the rubber tyres. Oops, that's not working. That one. A little triangle this is, this old wood. Nice. You don't see a lot of old woods anymore. They keep disappearing. I think this one will be around for a while. It's not particularly huge, admittedly. It's just nice to be here. It's always dark and quiet in there, and you see the odd muntjac deer. Yes, corruption. It's a funny thing. Let's stop.